Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rise and Shine with Lacey Jeter. So, this is my new morning show. I usually go live between the times about 7:30 a.m. to about 12 p.m. in the afternoon. So, I'm going to be covering something different than what I usually cover. So, this is my first time actually doing a political video. But today, I just wanted to talk about an incident that just happened at Tennessee State University, which is an HBCU. If you don't know what a HBCU it is a historically black university, black college, right? And so we had these two MAGA Charlie Kirk fans. They came on to the university, right? So they came on to the Tennessee State University and they set up and they're pretty much MAGA supporters. And they were setting up kind of like a little bit of a table, microphones, and pretty much talking about their ideologies, right? And when I tell you, these two didn't even last 10 minutes at the university. They didn't even last 10 minutes at the university. And one of the reasons I wanted to cover this story is because I wanted to really talk about safety precautions when it comes to universities. Actually, the HBCUs have been getting death threats, actually. They got death threats when it came to that Charlie Kirk situation, which when it comes to the Charlie Kirk assassination, obviously is never a good thing and it's never a happy thing to celebrate somebody's death, especially being killed. I don't wish for anybody to get killed, but I will say this man was not a good person. The ideologies that Charlie Kirk had, the things he preached, the things he stood for were absolutely not okay. They were racist, just very lacked empathy, very narcissistic, right? He was a narcissistic person. So there's a lot of people who really don't care that the man has passed away. There's people saying, well, good. And then you have some other people who are saying, this is not okay. And again, this is not me trying to, again, like tell people, oh, you need to be happy that Charlie's gone or the way he was killed was okay, because this man was still a father. He still had a family or whatever. But the man, what he stood for was not good. And the fact that people are actually comparing this man to Martin Luther King Jr. is crazy to me. I'm like, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. This man was a podcaster. He was a conservative right-wing podcaster, right? Martin Luther King and Charlie Kirk stood for two opposite things. Charlie Kirk was talking about how he feels like the Civil Rights Act should have never happened. So he doesn't believe that black and white people or people of different colors should be living in the same, in the same climate. They shouldn't be together. They shouldn't be standing for equality, all this stuff. When you say you're against the Civil Rights Act, that's what you're saying. You're saying you do not want to see black and whites and other races coming together in peace. You want us to be segregated. You want to continue Jim Crow. So that's what the man stood for. So he did not stand for anything positive, right? But you have some hardcore Charlie Kirk fans out here. And so with this situation that happened at the Tennessee State University, these men just trespass onto the campus, and honestly, to me, this is a safety concern. Me being somebody who used to work in the school district, who, when it comes to education, that's something I'm passionate about. I'm very passionate about the safety of our children, and I want kids to be able to be in a good educational environment, a good safe environment they can learn and they can evolve as citizens and be successful. And when it comes to black lives, I want black lives to be successful. I want us to build and be the best that we can be. And for you, I don't care what beliefs you have, for you to just come onto a university, right? You're distracting children, right? They have no compassion, no empathy. They don't even think straight. And also, my question is, why did they decide to go to a HBCU? The Charlie Kirk situation has nothing to do with black people. A black person did not kill Charlie Kirk. It was a Republican white male that killed Charlie Kirk. And then people are constantly saying, well, the left were the reason. The left has nothing to do with this man's assassination. You guys can make up stuff saying, somebody could have possibly convinced him from the left, whatever, to kill, whatever. There's no proof of that, though. There's absolutely no proof that the left had absolutely anything to do with this man's death at all. And it's like people are trying to bring us into it, and that's what always ends up happening. For some reason, they want to come to our side, come to our destinations and get in our business as Black people when we had nothing to do with it. Right? It's like, why are you coming to HBCU? Why you not go to Vanderbilt University or Harvard or another campus where you have people who are more intellectual, who probably will entertain you and will have these discussions with you? You get what I'm saying? Why come to a HBCU? So to me, they were trying to target Black students. And to me, that is not okay. That's absolutely not okay to target Black students. And what's happening now, they're trying to find reasons to hold Black people back. He was trying to push Black people to have a bad reaction on that campus so he could talked to his fellow followers, because these people do have a platform, right? He could talk to his followers and talk to the other MAGA supporters and try and drive this narrative that Black people are violent. Really, no one was violent, by the way. I'm very proud of how the students handled this situation, but again, this whole thing that has happened, it is really going to open up a conversation for the safety of our students. You should not be coming on a university campus. These kids were in class, walking to class. You probably delayed classes. The situation probably got in the, like, there could have been a class going on and the class got delayed and everybody's looking outside. What is going on? Right? What if somebody did this at a high school? You get what I'm saying? Like, you have kids in college who are 18 years old, the same age as seniors in high school. Would that be okay for people to come into a high school doing that? And also, if this happened at a PWI with a Black person, like a Black person would have did the same thing, did a setup like this, doing very, like, pretty much promoting hateful ideologies, wanting to mess with the students, wanting to harass the students, they would have been escorted as well. Right? But the thing that's sad about this situation is that a lot of people online are coming for HBCUs and saying, well, the graduation rates, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. It's still an educational institution. It's still an institution with young kids. And people like, well, they're 18. No, people in their early 20s, to me, like, I would say between the age of like 18 to 20, 21, to me, is still pretty young. Right? It's still pretty young. And the thing is, people going to try doing this again. There's going to be more MAGA supporters, more people trying to do this mess again. They're going, and the thing is, the antics are going to get worse and worse. The antics are going to get bigger and bigger, right? Until there is some sort of protocol that is put into place when this type of stuff happens and the security tightens up. I would be very cautious when it comes to HBCUs right now. HBCUs need to come up with a protocol, a safety protocol for their students, because we've already had death threats from people we have nothing to do with. Nothing. And the thing about it is, Black people are minding their business right now. You don't really see Black people having these outrageous reactions and are really stirring up anything. We're kind of just minding our business. But the thing is, people are trying to instigate violence and instigate drama. They're trying to get us to react. And here's the thing, don't react. Don't react, because that's what they want. They want to see us out of character. They want to see us in a bad light, because they can make up some sort of narrative and run with it. You get what I'm saying? And to me, it's like, when it comes to my students, I do not play about kids. When it comes to kids, when it comes to students, I do not play about that. Right? I care about the safety of this country and the safety of our young people, because the young people are our future. And these HBCUs are creating very successful, very hardworking, very, very intelligent Black people. HBCUs have done so much for the Black community, and how dare people come for HBCUs and in some sort of way want to attack the HBCUs? How dare? Shame on you. Shame, 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 shame. And that's the reason I'm covering the story, because I'm the type of person, I don't usually like to be all up in an uproar. I'm not the type of person to be screaming about my political views all the time, right? Obviously, I care about news. I report on news, but I wanted to report on this story because, again, there's a time and place for everything. I don't understand why they went to a HBCU. Again, like I said, you could have went to Vanderbilt, Harvard, Duke University. You could have been even even University of South Carolina, a huge university, right? You could have went to that. Why go to a HBCU? Because there's a racist narrative that they're trying to create. This stuff is no joke, right? But I'm going to show y'all a video of kind of what happened, kind of breaking down the situation, because I just don't understand it. Like, I don't understand why people are trying to drag Black people into it, because it has nothing to do with us at all. Like, at all. And it's like they're trying to find people to blame. And that's one issue I have with the right wing right now, is that they like to victim blame a lot. They like to avoid accountability. You're trying to find somebody to blame. That's what children do. Honestly, children blame people for stuff. Like, if you like know young kids, right? You know young kids, right? They go on the playground, be like, "Oh, Sally did it. Ella did it. A Christian did it. It's like, girl, if you do not get up. Girl, if you do not get up and nobody did nothing to you. He hit me. He hit me. That's what they're doing right now. Honestly, and it makes no sense. It makes no sense, because stop trying to blame people for things that have nothing to do with them at all. Right? Ever since Trump got into the White House, Black people kind of just been doing their own thing. They kind of been just chilling. You don't even really see Black people having an uproar really about anything. I mean, you see some of us, but for the most part, we're minding our business. You don't see us out of shape, in shambles, right? You don't see the Black community in shambles about the administration. So why are you trying to revert back to these racist tactics and try and drag people into it that have nothing to do with it? That's y'all's business. That's not our business. Right? That's y'all's business. So don't bring us in it. But I'm going to show this video, y'all. I'm trying to see if there's anything. And yeah, they didn't even last 10 minutes. They didn't even last 10 minutes. And I'm very proud of the students, because the students did not have a violent reaction at all. They just kind of just told them to leave. And good. I'm so proud of the students. I'm very proud of them for not being violent and for not going to large lengths. The thing about it, we just want our rights. Right? The thing is that we just want people to leave us alone at this point. We just want peace as a collective, right? Nobody is really asking for anything too crazy. We just want to be left alone, right? Left alone. I'm going to play this video, y'all. Just give me one sec. Oh, no. I accidentally deleted it. I'm pulling up this video, y'all. Okay. Just give me 1 second. And it's gonna, and this is this guy, he kind of like put it into words more than me. So, but again, what do y'all think? What do you think it was necessary? Do you think it was out of line for these men to come on this college campus during school hours? Right? During school hours and when students were in school trying to get their education. And it does, again, graduation rates, who cares? It's still a constant, it is still an institution for students to learn. It's still an institution. It doesn't matter if it's a good school or not. It don't matter if it's a bad school. It really don't. It's still an institution, just like with high schools, right? Just like with high schools, just like with middle schools. Not every single high school or middle school is high performing, right? Not trying to put anyone down, but still, right? Still, it's still a time and place for everything.
Some Charlie Kirk acolytes tried going to TSU yesterday, which is Tennessee State University, and HBCU, and the students weren't having it. Let's get into it. So there was like 3 Charlie Kirk acolytes wearing Trump hats who went to Tennessee State University yesterday, which is an HBCU, tried setting up on campus. And when the students saw what was happening, they said, oh, hell no, it ain't going on today. And I'm about to show you the video of it right now.
Reporters invaded our HBCU.
What is going on over here?
You called the East primitive, but what? We created y'all knowledge. We created y'all science. We created y'all math. Y'all didn't do shit besides steal. Y'all didn't do anything to your... You guys didn't make shit. You guys touch children. You guys fuck them.
Showing them.
I don't even know how they got on campus. We gonna figure that out, but I don't know. They need to get like a trespass, like penalty or something, because
Sending them off.
Tell him it's that boy. He thought he was gonna come up like Charlie
Yes.
Kirk, man. That
yes,
yes.
say good job, TSU.
Good job. Shout out to my...
So this is the statement TSU put out after it happened. They said that the Charlie Kirk people showed up. They did not have a permit, no prior approval. They just showed up, put a table down and some chairs, and was going to start shit. There's plenty of colleges around here they could have went to. Belmont, Lipscomb, Trevecca, all Christian colleges. All probably would love to hear from them. They didn't go over there. No, they went to the HBCU. So if you ever want to know what standing 10 toes down is, this is standing 10 toes down. The black community shows up again, stands on business, gets them the fuck out of there, and does it peacefully. Exactly how it should be done. Bravo to the students at TSU.
All right, I'm going to show another video as well talking about it. Again, like I said, it was out kind of like what the guy said. I don't understand why they went to HBCU. Like out of all places, and I don't understand why HBCUs are being targeted. I don't understand. What did we do to y'all? What did we do to them? I don't know. Right. I'm pulling up. I'm going to change this right here. About to screen share another video. Okay. So I'm about to play this video, what this girl had to say.
A MAGA-affiliated group, known on social media as the Fearless Tour, decided to make a stop at the HBCU, Tennessee State University. Now, they came unannounced, uninvited, and unwelcomed to Tennessee State University to try to set up a debate table. They set up their debate table with big signs with inflammatory rhetoric on it, like DEI should be illegal and deport all illegals immediately. Needless to say, this did not go over well with the students in the HBCU, which is basically what they wanted. They wanted some type of incident that they could catch on tape to say that these students were to be feared and they were dangerous and violent and all of that. Well, because that is usually not the case, the students, although clearly not happy in the footage, never laid a hand on the MAGA affiliates. Instead, they called the university staff and police to come and escort them off the premises. Because this MAGA group was not affiliated at all with the Tennessee State University, and they did not ask permission to come there and start a debate with the students, they were promptly asked to leave and escorted off the premises, with a crowd of students and cops peacefully walking them to the door. And I will say that in the footage, it was kind of funny to see them believe their own rhetoric. The MAGA affiliates were escorted out, but they were completely surrounded by Black police officers and Black students as they went. And one of the MAGA affiliates that had the camera on the entire time would put the camera towards his face, and you could literally see the fear in his face as they're escorting him out. The thing is, the students around him, they weren't even stunting that dude, but he drank his own Kool-Aid and they believed their own rhetoric so much that he was actively uncomfortable. If you are following me on the YT, I will try my best to find a clip to clip at the end of this video because it was hilarious. But in all honesty, stuff like this is not funny. And they're becoming more and more bold in Black spaces, to the point where two men in Mississippi were strange fruited. One of them was a 21-year-old Black college student going to school at Delta State University, and the other was a 36-year-old man that they found outside of a Vicksburg casino. In the case of the student, even though he was found in the middle of a courtyard by the pickleball courts, and there is a discrepancy on what state his body was in, the police immediately tried to say that he did that to himself, before coming out a day later saying that the case had some developments, not specifying what those developments were. Mixed information has been coming out about that case since, and the coroner's office is disagreeing with a lot of the information concerning what condition that student's body was in. Naturally, there is a lot of distrust, especially since the police were so quick to come out saying that he had done it to himself, as well as the other 36-year-old found in the same condition on the same day. So civil rights groups have rightfully gotten involved, wanting an actual investigation as to what happened to these two men. And Colin Kaepernick has come forth offering to provide the funds for a third-party autopsy, because two Black men being found in trees in Mississippi during a time when the rhetoric against Black people has become so bold is starting to not only drum up a lot of memories for people who have still alive when those things used to happen a lot more often, but it is drawing up concerns for people in the Black community who are feeling less and less safe. They are always trying to make it seem as if the Black community are the ones who are the instigators. They are always trying to make it seem as if the Black community are the ones who are violent, the ones who are criminal, who are always committing some type of heinous crimes. And yet, they can never keep themselves out of our spaces. Make that make sense.
It's crazy. I know. Yes, I know. It's just absolutely crazy. Yeah, that is a lot of audacity. Like I said, if this was honestly a, Black person going to a PWI doing this, they would be up in arms about it. I mean, they would really be up in arms, right? I just don't understand, like, why they want to bother the Black community when the Black community literally does nothing. It kind of reminds me back in the day. It reminds me back in the day when Black people would create their own spaces, like Black Wall Street, or any of the many cities, all Black towns, all Black communities that got burnt down, right? And then a lot of people were trying to like talk about, well, there's this all white town that's being created right now, right? And then there's some people who are saying, well, why are y'all complaining about that? If Black people did an all Black town, we wouldn't do anything. We have. They all got burnt down, burnt to shambles. Gentrification. I can't even talk right now. Like, I can't. But yeah, I'm going to show this other video Gentrification. I have such a hard time saying that word, gentrification. Like it's just constantly with us, like if we ever have anything. But I'm going to show another video. But yeah, like how do y'all think again with everything? So I'm going to show this.
All we did was set up a table.
Hey, what's up, man? Like, I'm pressing hell. You feel me? Like, it's a crazy day out here. It's TSU. You feel me?
But yeah, so I'm just kind of like over this. Like over the tactics. It's the same antics. And honestly, it's just history repeating itself again. All this is history. Again, history always just goes into a hamster wheel, right? And I wouldn't even be surprised if you start seeing these MAGA supporters burning down black establishments and start actually being violent. And the thing is that they like to say everybody else is violent but them, but they're actually the most violent. Honestly, they're the most violent. And I don't know what's happening with our country, but this is going to have to stop, and there's going to have to be some security protocol with HBCUs. I would even do high schools. Because if these men will go to a college, they will go to a high school and try and do this mess. But with a high school, you can't even get into the front office, right? They would have to get past the front office, obviously, because you have the secretary and whatever. Where HBCUs and universities, you can kind of just go on the campuses, right? You can kind of just freely go into the front of campuses or the outside area of the campuses, but there's going to need to be a security protocol, and not even really for just HBCUs, but really for universities in general, because they're attacking the black youth, because they know that the black youth, if you educate the black youth and you give the black youth the tools they need to become successful, that they can do great things. This is a tactic from the enemy. This is a tactic from the enemy. And I'm real spiritual, y'all. And sometimes, they say you should mix spiritual with news, but I'm going to say it. We're being attacked by the enemy right now. The black community is, right? Because we are just continuing to be ourselves and continuing to build. And specifically black women are actually one of the highest groups to go to college. right? And all we've been through as a people, the hundreds and hundreds of years of the oppression and slavery and putting us down, how we're able to just get back up and really get through everything, how we were able to just get past the civil rights movement, and how we were able to just get our rights, right? We're a strong group of people. We can do anything we put our mind to. And there is spirits out here, these demonic spirits that are jumping into these people, that are using these people to try and set us back, try to get us angry, get us violent. But you know what we can do? We can stand in peace. And that's what these students did. These students stood in peace. Nobody got hurt. Nobody was jumped on. They just told them to get off their campus. This is our campus, right? And I'm very proud of the students. And when they do this stuff, this is what we need to do. We need to peacefully protest. They were peacefully protesting against those men to get off of their campus, right? They got the police to get them off. And actually, something not that long ago happened where there's this female MAGA supporter who went to a black festival. I forgot what it was called. It was a black festival, and the people called the police on her, and she got escorted out. We don't even need to even waste our breath on these people, right? We don't even need to even argue. We just need to get them out. We need to just call the police, ignore them, because the antics are getting worse and worse and more ridiculous by the day, right? And I'm always wanting to uplift our people. And the civil rights movement did not just benefit Black people. It benefited everybody. And the fact that this man, this Charlie Kirk man who passed away and who was killed, was speaking against that. He didn't want the civil rights. He didn't want to see a country where people were able to get along and be in peace and be able to evolve with each other. He wanted to see us separate. He wanted to see Black people doing bad, right? And the thing is that these children now are starting to get a taste of what our ancestors went through and a taste of what our relatives went through, right? And this is important. It's the same, yes, it is the same rhetoric. And this is the new administration fuels the energy for this to occur more freely. Yes, they're trying to make it where where people are just freely able to be hateful, right? It's happening little by little, but you're going to start to see more of this type of thing occur, where these people are trespassing onto spaces that they do not need to be at. It's an educational institution. A college is where kids are getting their education so they can better themselves and have a future. And you just come up on here and you come to a Black college saying DEI should be illegal, so diversity and inclusion should not be a thing. So you're going to go to a Black university saying that, knowing that Black universities are what that stands for. They stand for diversity and inclusion, right? This is a tactic from the enemy. Honestly, the enemy is doing his big one right now. And then we have a weirdo. And by the way, all hate comments get blocked and deleted. It is a public property, yes, but there's something called social intelligence. We all know that there's unspoken rules, unspoken things that we should not be doing. We should not be doing. I don't care if it's a public property. It's still an institution for kids to learn, right? And I just want to say, God bless our professors. God bless our teachers, because people do not understand that teachers and educators are doing so much for these children. God bless Black educators. God bless. God bless. God bless educators of other races. Because I guarantee you there might have been class delays. Because of that incident, those men were a distraction to the educational environment. I guarantee the kids were then not focused. These professors have to teach their lessons. They have to teach their lessons, right? And the kids were probably distracted by these men coming in on their university. They should have been in class, right? There's something called social intelligence, unspoken things you just do not do. That's the thing about these young people. These young people and these not just young people, but just how things are in general. People don't know how to have manners, right? Lack empathy, lack manners. You know when you should be doing something and when you should not be. There is always a time and place for everything. No, it's not. And you're saying it's a public place. Why did you not go to another university? Why? Why they went to HBCU? Please let me know. Why they went to HBCU? Why couldn't have gone to Vanderbilt? University of Tennessee? Why couldn't they have not gone to Howard? Well, I said Howard. I'm sorry. That's the HBCU. Harvard. Even though Howard is a good school, that's a HBCU too. Why they went to HBCU? And honestly, like, why? Because what did HBCUs do to them? Like, I'm trying to figure out what they have anything to do with it. But it doesn't matter. It's still an educational institution. It is a distraction to the children. Point blank, period. There's a time and there's a place for everything. And yes, it was a public property, but they definitely did not last at that public property for 10 minutes because they got ran out. And they failed. Right? And they failed. It doesn't make any logical sense. Right? There's no sort of common sense of what they did. There's nothing smart about it. They were trying to provoke Black students. They were trying to push a narrative of violence and a negative stereotype to the public by seeing if they can get a reaction from Black students. These are students. That's what they were doing. And it did not work. Yeah. So not even gonna argue no more. Not even gonna argue. You know, people, it's crazy because people are always talking about how, Black people need to get an education, blah blah blah. Well, we're getting our education for sure. And people lie, and it's gaslighting. It's gaslighting and it's manipulation. It's not the truth. And like I said, the truth will set you free, right? You reap what you sow. So you put out negative energy out there, you're going to get it back. These people are not going to get away with it at all. And it just and for me, being somebody who has worked in education, who has in the past has worked with children, this whole story just infuriates me because it's like there's a time and place for everything. There's a time and place. I know if I was at the school, I was with my middle schoolers, and there is somebody doing that on the middle school property, right? My middle schoolers wouldn't even have been able to focus. They wouldn't have. They would be like, oh my God, this is what happened. These kids need to pass their test. These kids need to focus on their schoolwork, right? That's all I gotta say. But yeah, I don't tolerate negativity on my page either. So yeah. But I just want to say, for those who have tuned into the live, I just want to say thank you again. I kind of went on my little tangent there. apologize for people who didn't mean to hear that. But I just, when it comes to education, that's something that we need to take more seriously. And we need to figure out a protocol for these kids, because kids don't deserve to go through any of this. And just to let you know, the day that Charlie Kirk got assassinated, there was also school shooting. It was a school shooting. Right. Like that's nothing to play with. We need to protect our babies. Right? We need to protect our children from this nonsense. Right? You saying they could have walked past. They didn't have to have them on the campus. They should have never been on the campus. They called the police, and they all end up escorting them out off the campus. They were escorted out of the campus. They weren't violent. The kids weren't violent towards them. The kids didn't do nothing to them, right? Right? They didn't hurt them or anything. They just told them, get off our campus. And they have the right, just like that man, so-called, y'all believe that man had the right to go on that campus? Those college kids also had the right to escort him off and call the police on him. I'm going to end it at that, y'all. No, it doesn't matter. 18, 19, 20, 21. That's young. That's young to me. Sorry. That's still young. But yeah. But other than that, that is my live, y'all. I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. For those who have tuned in, thank you for tuning in. For those who supported the live, thank you. And again, like I said, I wanted to share this story because I wanted to help those, and I want to spread awareness, and I want the our kids and college students to be able to have a safe learning environment. Me, like I said, I've worked in the school district, but once before. I used to, not anymore. And I just, this is something that just is very important to me. So I wish y'all a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to y'all soon with more news.